Hi everyone, welcome to the Highlights from Ukraine podcast, your daily audio summary of the latest news reported in the Ukrainian media. We would really appreciate if you could recommend us to your friends and family as well as share information on social media. Please also rate us in the apps where you're listening to this podcast, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any other. This will help more people to find highlights from Ukraine and learn the truth about the Russian invasion of Ukraine. My name is Artem, and here is the news. 315 days last the Russian invasion of Ukraine. France will provide Ukraine with AMX-10RC armored personnel carriers, which are also classified as wheeled tanks, reports European Pravda. Presidents of Ukraine and France, Volodymyr Zelensky and Emmanuel Macron, agreed on that during a phone call yesterday. The French side stressed that this will be the first time the armed forces of Ukraine will be provided with Western-made tanks. There is no information available on when these light tanks will be transferred to Ukraine or how many of them are planned for delivery. President Volodymyr Zelensky added that France will also provide Bastion armored vehicles to Ukraine. In his evening video address, President Zelensky emphasized that this is a clear signal to all Ukraine's partners. There is no rational reason why Ukraine has not yet been supplied with Western-type tanks. He believes that such a signal is extremely relevant before the new meeting of the Ramstein Defense Support Group for Ukraine. Quote, "We must put an end to the Russian aggression this year exactly and not postpone any of the defensive capabilities that can speed up the defeat of the terrorist state. Modern Western armored vehicles, Western-type tanks are just one of these key capabilities," unquote. The AMX-10RC is a combat armored vehicle designed for conducting reconnaissance. It has been in service of the French armed forces since 1981. As of 2021, the French army had over 240 such vehicles. Since 2021, they had been gradually replaced with Jaguar combat reconnaissance vehicles. The AMX-10RC is equipped with 105mm gun, 7.62mm machine gun, and two electrically operated smoke grenade launchers on each side of the turret. US President Joe Biden said on Wednesday that the possibility of providing Ukraine with Bradley fighting vehicles is being considered, reports Militarny. This is the first official confirmation of such a consideration. The M2 Bradley is the main infantry fighting vehicle in service with the mechanized forces of the US Army since the 80s. Unlike the earlier M113s provided to Ukraine, the Bradley is armed with a powerful 25mm cannon and TOW anti-tank systems. It can significantly increase the combat capability of Ukrainian ground forces. Head of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, Kyrylo Budanov, announced plans for Ukraine to launch a major offensive this spring, and the fiercest fighting is expected in March, reports Ukrainska Pravda. In an interview with ABC News, he said that this is when we will see the liberation of Ukraine's territories and final defeats of Russia. Talking about possible strikes at the territory of Russia, Budanov didn't say who were behind them, but said that the attacks would take place deeper and deeper inside Russia's territory. Budanov also said that Russia's President Vladimir Putin has cancer and will die soon, but not before Ukraine's victory in 2023. After his death, Russia will have a regime change, believes the head of Ukraine's intelligence. Head of the Orthodox Church in Ukraine, Metropolitan Epiphany, plans to hold a Christmas service in the Cathedral of the Kyiv-Pechersk Lavra Monastery on January 7th, reports BBC News Ukraine. The church said that it had received permission from the authorities. This will be the first ever liturgy of the head of the Orthodox Church of Ukraine in the Kyiv-Pechersk Lavra. The Kyiv-Pechersk Lavra is one of the oldest and most famous monasteries in Ukraine, founded in 1051. Officially, it belongs to the state, but for many years, large parts of the complex were used by the Ukrainian Orthodox Church of the Moscow Patriarchate, which is a part of the Russian Church. At the end of December 2022, Ukrainian authorities announced that they wouldn't extend to the Russian Church permissions to use the main cathedral of the monastery complex, as well as several other buildings, which were to expire on January 1st. If you like what we do and would like to tip us, you can now do so directly to our PayPal. Check out the link in the description to this episode for more details. And as usual, you can subscribe to our Patreon. In gratitude for your help, we will give you access to a series of exclusive episodes on wartime life in Ukraine. We call on you to demand from governments of your countries to impose the toughest sanctions possible on Russia and its citizens to stop their invasion of Ukraine.